What is it that you want now?
Well, the usual trappings, health, wealth, and live in New York City.
Pick some subject that you would like us to help you walk up the emotional scale. We'd like to play a game with you, where you say something that feels like what is, and we're guessing, although it may not be accurate, that you're going to be forking toward what you don't want as you offer these initial statements. So you fork and we'll fork, and you fork and we'll fork, and you fork and we'll fork, until you get the forking technique that we're talking about. So make a statement and we'll fork it.
About
anything, and best those things that come up that make you frustrated. Those things.
I don't know what to do with my life.
Too big.
Too big.
And it is so big that it's not effective. In other words, because those aren't the things that are frustrating you. The things that are frustrating you are just the day-to-day responses to life. Oh, maybe you're not frustrated. Maybe it's bigger than frustration. You tell us. Just give us some things that you're frustrated about, and we'll be able to feel if it's as deep as it goes or if it goes deeper.
Money. Lack of money.
So, you think those are the subjects around which most of your frustration flows?
Yeah.
All right, so make a statement about any of that then. In other words, what you're doing is you're just having a moment in time where something about that is occurring to you, and you're expressing where you are about it. And we know it's not in all that good a place, because if it were, you would be rolling in money.
Right.
So just make some statement, some beginning statement. This is the thing we want you to realize. You are wherever you are, and wherever you are is the only place that you can be. And so we don't want you to pretend like it's so hard to explain where you are, because you're talking about it, feeling it all day, every day. You might not want to express it in front of everyone, but it's not hard to make a statement about how I feel about where I am on any subject in the world. In other words, government, annoying. Government, inept. Taxes, unfair. Women. Well, we'll leave that. Abraham, annoying. Money, not enough.
Not enough.
Money, hard to find. Occupation, unsatisfying. What I really want to do, hard to figure out. In other words, you have an immediate, visceral, emotional, vibrational comeback to every single thing. So you watch television, or you read a magazine, or you read a newspaper, or you visit with a friend, and all day, every day, things are coming up to which you are having vibrational responses. And what we're wanting to show you is that you can, with small effort, train your vibrational responses into a different place, where when the word government comes up, you say, don't care. Government, irrelevant. Government, none of my business. Government, doesn't affect me. Government, and then it's a non-issue. And when it's a non-issue, then you can soar no matter what government is doing, you see. Money, plenty of it. Money, not important. Money, out of the equation. Money, got all I have any sensible use for. Money, love it. Money, got it. Money. In other words, you can just train yourself into this place where a name comes up of someone that you remember from the past. Barney, hate him. And Barney treated me bad. And then you can train yourself into a different place so that when the name Barney comes up, you say, irrelevant. Barney. Barney who? Barney. Don't think about Barney. Or Barney. Love Barney. In other words, you can train yourself differently on every single subject. And the thing that we want you to come to understand is the more you train yourself into a better feeling place, the more the whole world will treat you better, because you'll have less things that you're ducking from, less things that you're having to avoid, less things that you're having knee-jerk responses to. You'll finally be in charge of your own vibration, you see. So, you give us a word, we'll help you fork, or a subject, or a situation.
I've really hit them all. Money.
All right, money.
Work.
Money. So money. So how does money feel to you? When you say money, how does it feel? Hard to find?
Yeah, not enough. Not
money,
enough.
Not enough. So there you are. Money, not enough. I have more than some. I have a lot more than some. I have more than I've had. Money comes and goes. I really don't need a big pile of money. I just want it in and out, in and out, in and out. I'd like money to be a non-issue. I'd like all the money that I can possibly spend. I'd like an infinite flow of money. Now, we're talking about what I'd like, not what is, and did you feel how easily that shifted? I'm looking forward to more money. I don't know how or where or when it will come, but I'm looking forward to more money. I suppose there are people who right now have a lot of money, but one time were standing where I am, or much worse. So things can easily change relative to money. And I'm looking forward to that steady change. And I'll get the hang of this. And I've picked a subject that's a pretty big one. I've picked a subject that I focused upon a lot, so I shouldn't expect my vibration to change instantaneously. Now, that much conversation has shifted slightly. Do you feel any relief from it?
Yeah.
That's all the work is. In other words, it's just soft conversation that leaves you feeling a little better at the end of 2 or 3 minutes than you were at the beginning. Have you ever known anyone, or maybe even yourself, that you could get riled up about something pretty good? Mm-hmm. Let's do that. Let's practice that forking technique. Give us a subject. Government.
Okay.
Our government is bogus. Our government makes promises it can't possibly keep. Our government promises things that it doesn't know if it can keep or not just to get our votes. Our government is not really interested in us. Our government is interested in its own self-perpetuation. I remember one time that I read an article that you could not be ethical and be in government. I remember reading a study about that politicians can never really be true to anything because they have to serve so many purposes at the same time. So they can't really hold their own personal opinion and get elected. So they pretend that their personal opinion is different than it is, depending on who they're talking to, just in order to get voted. Now, did we get anything moving there? In other words, if we stayed there long enough, we could start a riot. In other words, if we fixated long enough there, we could bring you to feeling enough disempowerment that you would have a knee-jerk response of anger just to try to get some of your own power back. You can talk yourself into feeling bad or into feeling good, and it all is starting from where you are. And on some subjects, you're already leaning to not feeling good because you've been practicing for a while. On some subjects, especially the subject of dollars, you inherited it from those who had a very strong feeling about it at the time that you were born into their midst. In other words, some of these visceral, vibrational attitudes you developed before you could even speak language. When you wanted something from your mother and she did not believe that she had the ability to provide it for you, she offered a vibration to you regardless of what words she offered you. Whether she gave you the money that you were asking for or didn't give you the money that you were asking for, she offered a vibration about the way she felt about money, and you picked up that vibration. So you've got a lot of vibrations going on within you that the only way of improving them is taking the bull by the horns, so to speak, and deliberately forking them into a different place, gently and gradually and steadily, because your vibration is right where you last left it on every subject. So you can't just be living in a situation and read a book that says you create your own reality and that when you ask it is given, and all of a sudden in one fell swoop leave behind all of that vibrational leaning that you've been picking up over a period of a lifetime. In other words, it's not logical that all of a sudden you would just see things differently. You're not going to all of a sudden just see things differently. But the reason that we're talking to you about your emotional guidance system is because we want you to feel your way into the thought rather than think your way into the feeling. And can you feel the difference? When you care about how you feel, it will cause you to reach for the thoughts that are closing the gap. When you just think a thought and then have a visceral response to the thought that you're thinking, now it could go any way. But when you care about how you feel and you are deliberately reaching for better feeling thoughts, now you begin closing the gap on every subject.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Some time ago you had mentioned about when we were all discussing about the different things we could do to earn money and working and jobs and this and that. You had brought up the aspect of beingness. You don't have to do anything. And over this year time,
most of you believe you have to do something in order to justify money coming to you. That's
right.
But
over this last year, I've gotten better on experiencing this concept. But could you go into a little bit more detail on that?
Most who are thinking in terms of dollars are approaching them more from the subject of lack than from the subject of just allowing the dollars to flow in. We bring it to the picture of when you get up in the morning, you do not all go out onto the porch and try to breathe in all of the air that you will be wanting for the day, afraid that others may suck it up before you get a chance to get your share. You acknowledge that you breathe it in and let it out, and breathe it in and let it out as you are wanting it. And the dollars or the abundance of the universe is the same way. Whenever you associate anything with dollars, find yourself working against yourself because your attention to the lack of dollars, now think about it, it is just the programming that you have accepted. More of you speak more of lack than you do of having enough. The balance of your experience has to do, let us take the subject of dollars. As there is abundance of dollars and in the same moment lack of dollars, what any of you are personally experiencing in any point in time has to do with which of those two probabilities you have given the most attention to. If you have felt good as you are focusing upon the dollars flowing in and out of your experience, then you are almost all, without exception, experiencing dollars or enough dollars, adequate dollars, satisfactory dollars within your experience at any point in time. But if you have been one who has been saying there are never enough, or there isn't enough, or oh, I cannot afford that, or oh, that one is lucky because he has somebody to take care of him, if you have been adding your emphasis to the lack of dollars, then that is more what you are experiencing. And so for most, not for all, but for most, there is more of a lack of dollars within your experience than there is dollars. All you have to do is tip the balance just a little bit by consciously focusing upon the value of the dollars that you hold. Now the tendency is to say $10 is not enough, but 10 million would be. And we say, in the first place, you don't know if 10 million would be enough or if it wouldn't, because you don't have $10 million and so you're not in the position to judge. But the point is, as you look at the $10 and say, oh, this crummy little amount of money, then you are literally closing a door that will not allow more to, where if you are looking at the $10 and saying, $10, I can do this, I can do that, getting the positive feeling regarding the dollars, then the dollars just automatically begin to flow into your experience. It is just a matter of making a conscious, deliberate effort at feeling good about the dollars that you do have, and then by law of attraction, those dollars will become more. And as you feel good about those dollars will become more. And as you feel about those dollars will become more. But as you are not feeling good about the dollars that you have, not one other can get in. Now, the way that the work fits into it is that the work or the exchange of energy is the way that most of you justify letting the dollars in, because you basically don't feel that you're worthy enough for good things to come to you unless you prove yourself worthy. That is sort of the way you have been fostered in this physical environment. You've been encouraged to believe that you are here to prove yourselves worthy. And proving yourselves worthy means suffering and working hard and doing all of those things so that you can have a reward later. What we are wanting you to understand is there is none of that. You are here intending to apply the laws of the universe, which are so simple. They say you get what you give your attention to. You say, well, I've been giving my attention to dollars. Why don't I get more dollars? And we say to most of you, you have not been giving your attention to dollars. You've been giving your attention to not enough dollars. And so not enough dollars is your experience. All you have to do is look for reasons to feel good about dollars, and they begin to flow abundantly into your experience. As physical creatures, you watch your checkbook decline, you watch your physical body decline, you watch your physical planet decline. You are those that are fixated upon declination, and we say, there is not such a thing. Nothing just goes away. all of it is in the process of becoming. It is not in the process of going, it is in the process of becoming. And so you are the magnet attracting what is coming.